together for the last 2 games, because we haven't really seen that spark that we expected from MadBulls so far. But it is possible that both Box Gaming and MadBulls could leap up and overtake both of the Infinity and Nigma Galaxy with the way that they've been playing over the last couple of games.
Exactly. Over the last 4 matches, both Nigma Galaxy and Infinity, I think, have scored around 10 points total of each of them, around about. So, you know, you're looking at almost a 2.5 average on the game, which is really not ideal for either of them, and does open this up for Box Gaming and MadBulls. And I think if the pressure's on for anyone, it's not necessarily MadBulls or Box Gaming who are feeling like, you know, today could be the day, in which case they break those boundaries and head in, but instead for Nigma Galaxy and the Infinity, who are feeling like something's going wrong and they're unsure how to fix it at this point in time. And that is not a situation you want to be in on that last day. Infinity, though, we've got on our screen, they're currently moving down into the lobby, into the game, looking for something here. MadBulls taking controversial rotation on that last match, Nigma Galaxy getting held out on the outside, but Box Gaming taking it much more in their hands, finding themselves a central compound, but were unable to hold on to it. I really do have high hopes for Box Gaming, though. I think they've made a massive improvement today, and I would be happy to see them break through into that survival stage, especially with the results they've had and been able to pick up some eliminations, find some big clutch moments today. You know, this is a deserved push through. MadBulls going to be unhappy that they dropped out early down towards Los Leones. They have a difficult rotation ahead of them, whereas they usually drop towards La Cobreria anyway, which is practically where the circle has headed. Now it's going to be difficult to move up towards that northern side through Death Valley to the east of Picado, John. Hard times ahead. Again, though, LGD drops similar location over towards Influence Chemin, with YZZ up towards Graveyard. Trash looting for himself. Influence Chemin, they sit away over towards that top side.
Tierra Bronca for Influence Chemin. Bigetron playing center Picado. No one really there to challenge, and with the players moving north, might have a little bit more time. Freak, not entirely sure how he got knocked. Might have been dropping off the top of that cliff there. Not good for the health, but they do have a bike to get them on the road again. And they'll be just fine. I feel like it has to have something to do with that cliff face right next to them.
Oh yeah.
There's no other players.
Something must have happened with that cliff face. But the teams around them, emTek, Storm, scarily close by, and with Freak with only a couple of bandages to work with, you know, they might be caught out here. It remains to be seen, though. Up towards Monte Nuevo, the Infinity currently playing. S2G find themselves a position up towards that north side of San Martin, just right next to R8, who honestly have been, you know, scoring some points today. Up to 96 right now. It's not too far behind Team Queso as well as MadBulls. Certainly possible to put, but I think they will just be happy in the knowledge they did not finish in last place.
That would be a nice cap for them, wouldn't it? But emTek Storm still very close by. Neither of them very likely to qualify at all. So we probably will be seeing the last 2 games out of them for the PMGC. And here it goes. There's the cliff face. Does try and leap out there, but it's not going to go well. You stick your ankles on that cliff face, you do just leap out into the void. Luckily, nobody too close by to capitalize on that.
Nigma Galaxy going to head up on that western edge. Maybe head up towards El Pozo or La Cobreria. Both spots are currently not taken, available for anyone who wishes to pick them up. MadBulls, on the other hand, looking for revenge down towards Los Leones versus I8. However, I8 have been playing some really good games recently, and I've been very impressed with the performance and the improvement they've been able to make. And I mean, we had an interview a while back where they were asked about the exit from crypto over towards Unicorn to Love in Western Europe, how it's affected them. And it certainly did seem to cause a few problems, but I feel like they've filled the void quite easily, honestly. Maybe lacking that star player overall, but I still think as a team, very competent. And I would prefer, if I was a team manager or a coach, I would prefer to have 4 very competent players than just one individual strong player on my team, because that's not always how you can win out these matches. You need to have that synergy. You need to be able to take those off angles. And team shooting, especially in a PMGC lobby, if you aren't team shooting, taking those 1v2s, 9 impossible to win out on.
emTek Storm, the new residents at the bottom of the tables. On camera now, they did not have the spike that LGD did. Coming into this tournament, who have really started to turn up the heat. LGD in that last game, they just didn't have the firepower in their position to take control, and S2G swept them aside and opened up such an important lead at this stage with a really, really solid chicken dinner, a nice high elimination count as well.
Yeah, honestly, for LGD, things felt like they were set in stone for them heading through in third place. I mean, for S2G, they were behind them, but they were finding consistent points, and S2G were a little bit up and down, volatile in their points potential. But today, they've really taken it to the next level. Lord, though, being crashed upon by the emTek Storm guys. This is a bit rough for him. Nade goes down, will find at least one, and gets the flush too. Good start for them. They will get an elimination point. And the nade downstairs. Goodness me, he's putting up more than a fight here.
Lord holds out for two, drops off the side as well, repositions, doesn't have a lot of time to make this move, gets just clipped before he gets behind the corner, and that should be the end. To the do-si-do, should be Reserble there, our men in full cover from the rest of Nigma Galaxy, but they might want a little bit of revenge. Hamodi hops out and wants some oversight.
Down towards the rest of emTek Storm. We'll look towards Tizzy. Might be able to explode the vehicle here. It's back into cover. Freak quite low.
Takes a tire off the pickup for Tizzy. Chicken gets away as well. Does have the Winnie. Could prove to be troublesome, but just fades away back to the party bus. I don't think they're going to be able to squeeze any more out of that engagement. But Nigma Galaxy losing a player that early, not great. Especially given the position they're in. Remember, they're one of those 4 teams of which any 2 could make it in on those overalls.
Don't want to be set apart from those teams at the moment. R8 off in the distance, looking down. DRS. Fox Gaming, very close to one another at the moment. Chicken taking a tumble of his own. Total limbs on Miramar. S2G have now passed LGD with 42, but there's a clear 2 front runners here with LGD at 42 and S2G at 44.
MadBulls trying to move past Los Leones right now. No one really too close by, but Agonxi8 ahead of them in the queue. They have to crunch up. San Martin would be sort of the central feature here of this next set of circles. S2G kind of isolated and alone on that northern side. Near water treatment, you can see them there. With Influence, Chemin may be the other team that's going to try and swing in. emTek Storm go completely wide of El Pozo and will swing in through La Cobraria on the road. The Infinity, northwest side of the next circle, in a pretty solid spot as well.
LGD moving in, DRS in front of them. I think for teams on this south side, it might even be a better idea to, instead of trying to push through this very difficult zone of open space underneath San Martin, to just head out towards that western side. They know the playing path was over towards the east, so heading up towards Power Grid or one of the compounds just underneath Crater Fields where the Infinity are currently playing would be a good decision, but it's a little bit too late now to be making that rotate as you start to see Titans as well as Nigma Galaxy start to pull up that position.
It's a difficult area to play around, the west side of Hacienda del Patron. About 4 teams have managed to find close quarters positions. Nigma Galaxy still looting up around in El Pozo. Bigetron, one of the teams that have managed to find one of the spots. Box close by to them. Box right now, of course, in that melee on the bottom bubble. Team at 128, 12th place, the highest ranked team that would not go through if we closed off the rankings right now. So they're looking to try and jump up. Only 3 points between them and 10th place.
I mean, so as taking a lot of damage and getting knocked here. Not at all happy days right now for the guys from Box Gaming. Again, Nigma Galaxy and the Infinity on this western side should live out for quite some time. But again, Nigma Galaxy now in the blue with emTek Storm close by. BTR looking to finish the fight, but again, Break really good when it comes to those clutch moments. And the door being opened allows him to bank it off and back inside. So works out either way. BTR down to 3 now.
They do find an answer over onto Soaz there for Box, so it is 3 versus 3 for Bigetron versus Box. Bigetron have done enough to stay in the survival, but Box have yet to put that work down. 1 point is there. That means they are 1 point behind the Infinity on that bubble, who have been pushed aside by Nigma Galaxy after a couple of games earlier. Box Gaming, a crucial spot for them now, Blank. It's all to play for. They're struggling to come up with the goods right now, playing it slow.
It is dead central, and BTR knows this as well. Would love to fight for this position. If Box want to survive towards the survival stage, they 100% need to win this engagement versus BTR. The Liquid very low. Jem Foster sets himself aside for the time being. Circle moves down towards the southwest, so Nigma Galaxy still have a chance to get a good game off the top of this one. MadBulls will need to regroup in their 2-2 split at the moment, looking up towards Buriram. Monkey will head out first to try and find a position. Titans also careening across the road moment, which bisects this circle in half. Creating quite the interesting terrain throughout the rest of the game here.
MadBulls are ahead of the game when it comes to being on that side of the road as well. I mean, Titans, they've crashed across, but MadBulls are one of the few teams actually already south of it and will be able to swing through and maybe take a priority position in the next circle above San Martin, where all of these teams are looking to try and find some real estate.
I think for teams like Box Gaming and MadBulls, they're taking two separate approaches to this one. MadBulls just looking to put up consistent points on the game. Box looking for that big one to send them sailing towards the top. But that does require, for MadBulls' strategy, to Nigma Galaxy and the Infinity to continue playing at a similar performance level that they've done for the rest of the day.
Break caught out in the open with a side swipe there. Smoke blooms. They stay alive for now, but it's really, really down to the wire on Break's position there at the front. Does manage to pop a heal. Nade up high, doesn't go through a window. And again, naded out, but knocked down. Break somehow regroups up. Does get knocked. Will he get flushed? Will he get tagged away? Oh, that's from Agonxi8 coming on through and just ruining it for Box. 2 players now standing.
I mean, the initial knock coming through from Effect there and I8 finishing it up. Rick don't get the elim, but that is probably the best team towards if you are MadBulls.
Spray from DRS over towards LGD. S2G have lost a player in the midst of it as well. Another knock going over from Influence Chemin as well. And every team is starting to suffer. DRS on the east, LGD are there, and they're embroiled in that engagement. Bigetron trying to move into Box's position, but Jen Foster already low. Zuxi taken very, very low. Trisbane not able to win out the challenge, not able to win out the trade. Tries to get the flush on the player fleeing towards the top side, and there's a third party. There comes through the shots again, but Box Gaming are eliminated in the meantime, staying in 12th. 1 point behind the Infinity. Everybody suffering under the watchful eye of MadBulls and Agonxi8.
MadBulls with the view in towards the windows that BTR were playing. I8 finishing the job for them. You can see the high ground that currently MadBulls are playing with. They have taken shots their way, though. Assuming they don't really want to take too much of these engagements, too many fights. Circle favors Buriram, Titans, I8, R8 as well, who are still continuing to put on a good show today for us. They're going to finish in the bottom bracket. They're going to finish with an absolute explosion. Fireworks going off around them.
They have pulled off some pretty solid miracles today, actually, to be fair. Unfortunately, it is just too late. For the time being, LGD on the east side, playing with all four of themselves alive, would need an excellent game here to keep themselves in contestation for the direct qualification spots to the finals in Jakarta. But for now, it's looking unlikely.
2 elims so far for them. S2G in a better spot of their own, covered off from a lot of sight lines. But Nigma Galaxy and the Infinity both have to push in from that western side. And again, it's out into open area. Team Queso currently holding out the 3 remaining players from Nigma Galaxy. This is great news for a team like MadBulls, who are situated on the high ground at the moment, looking to pick up some more points on this game.
Titan will take down emTek's Storm. Again, they will remain at the bottom of the tables for the time being. With this game and the next, the only ones left to play, Box only have that one more opportunity. Because they will be denied it here. They'll require Nigma Galaxy and the Infinity to fall. The Infinity out on the west side right now, taking shots over towards Influence Chemin, but they haven't really got a strong position in this circle. They are pretty much unbothered, though, on that western side. They can chill out for a little bit. And maybe that's what you want to do. If you're on that bubble, you just want to be putting 8 points up on a game.
Again, though, for the Infinity and Nigma Galaxy, their path forward is not easy. Nigma Galaxy make their way in, but Reyes should have spotted that cross from them, calling back to the rest of their team from Team Queso. Again, another team that really wants to ladder up above them. Nigma Galaxy get further in. The Infinity sends Mela downwards. Now BTR under pressure from 4 rivals.
They've survived one engagement with Box. Can they hold out against 4 rivals? Set up a crossfire. Gem Foster probably likely to be the first to go in, but Liquid already fallen. Zuxi spots the players flooding on in. The ground floor on the hold for Gem Foster, but he's fallen, and now it's all down to Zuxi. Needs to get the reload from the UMP, and will be able to stick it as well. Bigetron going low, and we'll be able to find 1, 2, 3. Zuxi's lining him up. Needs to push hard now. Dig deep for Bigetron to stay alive in this game. They've done enough to secure their survival spot, but that was an excellent lineup for Zuxi. Popping a heal. The reses are being allowed to come through, though, for the 4 rivals. You can't let them go with this. Pops out, goes for the spin, on the swivel, gets 1. Needs to be have the wherewithal to turn it around, and will find the shots. Zuxi lines up with a 1 versus 4 against 4 rivals.
What an unbelievable result from him. We didn't get to see the majority of that fight, but down the stairs, pulls out the UMP. It's never over when Zuxi's involved. This guy is giving, he's giving it on the camera. You gotta love this guy. I mean, he's got a lot of personality, and he's got a lot of bullets in the UMP to make this one happen. Yes, PTR will lose the majority of their members, but Zuxi will gain confidence that will lead through into the survival stage.
Both the twins have showed us that they are back on form. Really nice to see. Ramping up into this tournament. Fantastic to spot them back in the fold of it. S2G in the meantime, looking to hold on to their 3rd place spot. They're lucky, maybe even challenge Buriram for that 2nd place. So that would be a tall order, to be sure, almost as tall as LGD's task. That is Nigma Galaxy going down, which is good news for Box. That is actually really, really good news for Box right now, because it means that that goalpost has not moved too far.
MadBulls still dominating from this high ground position at the moment, John, finding a knock over Titans and LGD. They have clear information over this game. Circle moves up towards the north side, but at least keeps them in. You're right, Nigma Galaxy going down there with 1 elimination. Takes up by 1 point, not even hitting the 2.5 average on this game. The Infinity still looking to find their way into this circle. If they go down now, again, another game where they don't get a lot of points on board. They do have 2 elims on side, but that's about it.
Here's a replay. Zuxi, look, 1 and 2. I think the 3rd player had already gone down after the push earlier. This hop out spots the player going for the run, knows that he's going to complete it, decides to go for the player on the wall, and gets them all out. Look at that. Bigetron chuffed to bits with that performance. It is really quite something special to see that happen. Zuxi, what a guy to do it.
I mean, this really has been the Bigetron revival coming through. during this group, Red. It's great to see. Mela down. Godsunny trying to move back up over that side. Keeps exposing himself. Takes a lot of damage too. That might be coming through from Titans that perhaps have a sideswipe onto that position. Again, the Infinity goes down. It's great news for MadBulls and Team Queso. Both with a full 4 unit.
Shots from Influence Chemin over towards the Infinity. This, again, would be good news for everyone at the bottom of the tables fighting for the spot if they were to fall, but they're on 3. On the outside track. Ooh, little boy taking plinks back their way. Kowski as well. Spotted out. Agonxi8 have been just in every fight, seemingly, so far this game, Blank. It's been kind of crazy.
I mean, they've had so much oversight with the 4 stories that they've got down towards this side of San Martin and Hacienda. It's pretty difficult to get them off that position. Next circle will be popping shortly. For a lot of these teams towards the center, they're not too uncomfortable. R8, Buriram, Titans, I8. Happy days for them. A lot of these teams on the edges, though, praying for a shift down their way. Centers up, though. Very much donut play style. I mean, most of these teams happy with this one. It's one further out to the edge. There's really not a lot of room to move in this circle now. But this keeps Titan, MadBulls, LGD alive for a little bit longer. Zuxi will have to move in, though. You can see him dropping the smokes. It's fluff 2 in a row, though.
I mean, that might be a... No, I've got nothing for that. It's not going to be good. Effect from MadBulls and the rest of MadBulls on this high ground as well. In such a strong position. You're talking about the sightlines that Agonxi8 have. Let's talk about these sightlines, because this is crazy strong against an urban environment.
I mean, they're just spotting out for smokes, watching these crossings. Just about misses the run out there from LGD as they get further in towards the circle. It's an important run out for them to make early on. Zuxi, though, on the run towards the building. No one spotted him, and he gets in. Still has a little further to go, though, and across a road. It's slightly frightening. Was able to pick up a fair few more smokes, though, which will make his life slightly easier. Effect, though, has the bead. Doesn't want to remain peeking this for too long, though, but I think he has denied sightlines to the rest of LGD.
With that, the geometry of that rock, I mean, it is just an isolated position. The final little zoom in there. Once the challenge, there's the taps swiftly on the trigger for effect. Doesn't quite get the full damage, though.
Monkey scouting, though. Senses the potential of another team maybe looking to pick up their spot. With Team Queso, the team just behind them in the leaderboard. Out towards their western side, the Infinity finally try and make their run for it. Influence Chemin also moving down the hillside. Little boy falls. That's to I8 once again, who is making a massive splash within this circle.
Agonxi8 now up in 5th place. Overall, the Infinity regrouping and staying alive, really crucially for their spot on the tables, but for teams like MadBulls and Fox, even for Team Queso, that's not great. They do want them to fall as soon as possible. If they have anything to say about it. A nade from Federal, okay. Comes in and tags onto the Infinity. Gets a lot of damage in as well with a second follow-up. Federal wants to put one more through. Thinks better of it. No, recooking the nade. Punches it out wide. It's a little bit short for the liking.
Meantime, Team Queso takes down Papi Potro from their side. Monkey doing a good job over there, and it was a good thing he was scouting in the first place, assuming that a team would be coming in from the south. Nice nade, though. Comes through. Will deny that from Federal. Hamzy takes shots up towards MadBulls, but they're just a little bit out of reach. Next circle will push all these teams together.
Buriram now with the opportunity to once again take the top spot. They're in a prime split location at one side and both sides of the road with the next circle popping. They have a lot of control here. King Kangzo on his throne across the road, looking to try and hold it out. MadBulls will have to descend, Blank.
It's going to be a rough descent as well for them. They might be able to swing out on that eastern side towards a warehouse just on the edges. That's probably the safest play rather than trying to send down the mountainside, which would ultimately lead to quite a quick demise. So Monkey's already scouting out that way, looking for a potential route in towards the circle. But again, no matter where they go, it will be sending the vehicles up off the top.
You're going to have to at this stage. There's really no other choice, and they don't have a lot of time to make this maneuver happen. Sprays over onto Buriram as Buriram regroup over to the north side of the road. That's where they want to opt to go for. Titan maybe looking to fill in the void left by them. The Infinity moving in, R8 dragging them back down to the depths of the bottoms of the table here. LGD suffering as Zaxi's still alive, by the way, just so you know. I don't know, but this guy is doing a lot of work here over in the top of the mountain in the meantime. Team Queso have had their legs cut out the back. Scream descended to the position that was held before by Buriram, ahead of Titan. So they should see that. Zaxi, lone player, and a lot of damage sent over towards LGD, but wouldn't you know it, it's Agonxi8 blank to play a third party in this fight. It's just what they do.
All the time here, every day. In the meantime, MadBulls were able to send off the top side with the vehicles they held onto. They've got walls to play around with as well. It's a little bit more of an exposed position, but this circle heads down towards the south side a little bit more. MadBulls could have the inside track here. Again, just set up as a line. Difficult to move across towards them as well. So finishing out on any of these flushes will be difficult. So MadBulls provided a little bit more time to play with here. The Infinity. Last player alive.
God, Tunny spotted, and that is them drawn short. That is, again, a lot of that bubble area completely stopped in their tracks, and this is a great opportunity to MadBulls to just give them a chance. The position that they have, all four of them alive, on the cleaner side of the road as well.
And they still have this wall to work with this next circle, John. I think that's the biggest thing for them. Again, crossing forward will be difficult. Screens from Team Queso out in that building. Ghost does find Skillsers. Again, though, like I said, the wall there will provide them some cover so they can actually get the res off again. I8 sends the nades through. A little bit too long.
Oh, that's difficult there to get away from, but Blade doesn't quite land the shots this time around. Skillsers should get rezzed up there, and it's crucial for MadBulls to hold on to this.
Zerich finds a shot over towards Titans, who are looking their way on the road. Very important they hit those shots to keep them at bay. Hamzy G goes down outside the circle. MadBulls, you wonder how much they have available to them in terms of loot, in terms of medical supplies to get this game a little bit further. Again, look at that, the broken wall.
Oh, it's so hard. It's so tough for them. What a gauntlet that they're going to have to run to prove their mettle, to deserve their spot in the survival bracket. Again, just knocks and knocks and knocks going through. Team Queso with their last player Scream up the battle against Titans 1. Not going to be able to find the next two. No Zaxi in him, unfortunately, for Team Queso. And they will go down. Their run drawn to a close. LGD holding out with 4 alive. S2G, though, still alive. And it's really not going to matter. They're not going to be able to put that dent that they were looking for. A big nade from Blade. Cuts them down and leaves LGD flagging.
They're going to have to get back in that building, which is right on the edge. A massive delay. UZM sends in, but Buriram causing massive problems there for MadBulls. They know they have to move further in. Zerich goes down to Titans as a big nade comes through from the side swipe, including a Molotov, which gets another knock there. That's MadBulls certainly down to just 2 players.
They need to go further than this, Blank. They need to ladder up. They want to preferably get into that top 3 position. From where they are, you'd expect them, they might be able to do so. They've taken another knock. They're down to 1 for the MadBulls. 7th place, not good enough. Not the result that they need at this stage. We're in zone 9. Blank, there's 7 teams remaining.
Good shots there from Skillsers to keep him alive a little bit longer. Has to go for the pre-fire on this one, or just the run out. But Buriram, they still have oversight onto towards that position. If he can get forward, he might just be able to live out a little bit longer as the chaos ensues around the map. We're on last zone now, John.
Everything's going to crunch on in. Titan should be able to spot him. I don't know if they saw on that spray, but IQ lines up LGD, starts knocking them down, and Buriram are here as well to play. coming on through. Titans are eliminated with a sideswipe, and that's MadBulls laddering up. 6th place now, 3 eliminations on the game. Only player now on the south side of the road. With that wall as cover, he can stay alive. 5 teams remain, and the points are starting to rack up. They build fast now. 4 are still in it as MadBulls make their break for the tables. Silas last to go, and it is 3rd place confirmed for the MadBulls. Can they go one step further?
Buriram are in the path of I8, so they will have to take them down first, but Skillses shows his hand, tries to move up further. He has to leave this position though, and Buriram not quite focused on him yet. Gets across the road for the time being, still taking that pre-fire shot. Might be able to get to the side of the building. This is unbelievable, John.
Blade has to run down and through the blue. Skills is there. But they do have the numbers to win it out, but he could ladder up again into 2nd place. It would be huge. Blade was dismounted. The only player who could stop this cross from Skills is. Does he have nades? Does he have utility? Because there are 4 from Buriram, and they will not let him go. There's 1. They're all flooding out, and Skills is overwhelmed there, but 3rd place might be good enough. For the final game, they'll have their chance. Buriram with a chicken dinner in the 2nd to last game. They take that top spot back as well. That is the other story, the other side of the coin. The challenge for the bottom, but the challenge for the top, as Buriram have the top spot going in to the last leg of Group Red.
It has been a brutal battle between the bottom of the leaderboard towards the top of the leaderboard. Buriram fighting off against S2G, sending the knockout punch over towards the guys from Influence Chemin, but they refuse to stay down. The 10 count comes through, and Influence